Hey everybody, I've been putting up a series of videos today. If you're following, this is probably like the fourth video that I've put up today. This is Monday, Memorial Day, May the 27th, 2024. I'm having to upload videos unedited, raw and unedited without extra graphics and pictures and all of that, which I typically do on the desktop because that's my style. I like to put in the graphics, I like to put in pictures. I like to put in music. I spend hours and hours every week editing videos through editing programs. My favorite editing program is Animatica for the desktop. But we are currently still we're almost a day and a half now with no electricity, and therefore I don't have access to my laptop, and I've been having to make videos in the raw and just upload them without any music or pictures. But we have some news to talk about that's going to have to go up, and we want you to know we have a empty trailer and no skid steer on the trailer.
What happened to the skid steer?
Well, what happened to the skid steer?
Well,
what happened? First,
ladies and gentlemen, I do own a skid steer now. I don't have a truck or a trailer, so I went to borrow a trailer, but then people convinced me to take my trailer. This is my trailer. And this is like a 7,000 pound trailer, so that's about how much weight you can put on it max. And my skid steer weighs about 15,000 pounds. So when we loaded it up, it smashed the tires completely down into the fenders, and I tried my best to peel them up, and I couldn't make it down. I couldn't make it 1 mile. Then I tried the skid steer and put a chain on it and tried to pull them up as far as I could, and then the axles would just move up and tires would rub on them. And so that one there nearly ripped off with the skid steer. So I'm going to end up cutting these off. They're no good after I done thrashed them. You can see that they were near perfect before I went to go get it, but they ain't perfect anymore. Anyway, it took us a couple hours to make it 19 miles.
Yeah, it really did. A couple hours to make 19
I had
miles.
to stop 5 or 6 times because I couldn't keep the tires from rubbing on the fenders, and they're burnt. I mean, it got so hot it started burning through the paint. That's how hot it was. And over there too, that's how hot it was. It was just barreling out smoke, and people were honking, "Hey, you're on fire! You're on fire!"
So you're gonna have to cut these ugly things off because you were trying to pry them off.
Yeah, I'll cut them off. But anyway, so ladies and gentlemen, so what it ended up happening is that we were on this 2-lane highway, Highway 54, and there was really no place. There was no shoulder. And so I was just tooling along about 5 miles an hour, trying to not burn up a wheel or damage a tire. And, cars are passing us. Well, this one car passed us and went and turned off right up ahead of us, about a quarter of a mile. And where they turned off, I thought I saw some semis back there. And so Ruthie was trying to get us to go up to this church that was up the hill, but I couldn't see where it was at. And I really didn't want to go somewhere I couldn't see what it was. So I said, well, let's just go a little further because I think I see some semis up here. So I got up about 1/8 of a mile further, and I could see this gravel lot where these semi trucks were, and I pulled off in there. And the people that passed us up were in the lot next to us, just one driveway over. And so I was like, well, I mean, I really didn't. At that point, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to get the thing off of my truck, because if I couldn't make it 19 miles in 2 hours, trying to struggle tearing these fenders off, I obviously wasn't going to make it 100 miles to the house. So I was just like, hey, maybe we can, Ruthie was already calling. She was trying to call the number. Well, the people that were next door to pass us got on their little cart and came over, and I thought, well, I'm going to get my butt chewed out now for trespassing. Well, the guy comes over and I said, "Hi, how you doing?" And I quickly explained. I said, "Hey, I just got this trailer. I traded my rig for it, and anyway, it's way too heavy for this trailer." He said, "Yeah, it is." He laughed. He said, "It's way too big for that trailer." And I said, "Yeah. So my question is, sir," I said, "you wouldn't mind if I unload my skid steer here and just leave it until Tuesday and come back with a different trailer and get it?" "Oh no, if you don't mind, I'll borrow it," he said. I said, "Well, borrow away. I don't care." Anyway, so he said, "What do you charge an hour to run that thing?" I said, "Well, I just got it today. I haven't even driven it yet." So he said, "Well, $85 an hour is nothing." And I go, "Well," I said, "that's what the other guy was doing, charging just to get started." And so I thought that was fair for me to do the same thing. So he rolled around and he looked at the skid steer. He goes, "Wow, that's a really nice skid steer. Wow, that's got a really nice cutter. Wow." He said, "I'll tell you what," he says, "I got some land over here, and I got some land over here, and I got some land over here, and I got land. And he says, "I got some ditches, I got this." He said, "I got all kinds of work for you to do. So when you're ready, just holler at me and let me know." So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we agreed to leave that there, and I brought the trailer home. Trailer's perfectly fine, nothing's wrong. The fenders are kind of tweaked, but so
It's in Dresden, Tennessee.
it's 80 miles from here. We made it 20 miles. So it was a total of 100 miles. So we cut off 20 miles. So now that's 80 miles. So it's 80 miles from here. So I'm going to call him tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, since he's wanting me to do all this work. I might as well do the work, take the money that I earn, and get me a trailer and bring it on home. So
It's already so the skid
what I'm
steer is already
saying
on the
is
job
I
site.
couldn't get it home, but I got it to its first job site.
Isn't that something? Isn't that something? The way the Lord provided that we got it 20 miles down the road
To its first job site.
to its first job site. So it's not actually with us at the house, obviously. So tomorrow you're going to drive 80 miles to go.
Well, I'm going to call him and make sure that's what he wants to do. I'm going to talk him into doing it while it's there instead of me bringing it home 80 miles and then going back out there 80 miles.
Right.
So, I mean, that's what you do when you take one to a job site and drop it off anyway, right?
That's right. You leave it
So
there.
it's already there, so I might as well go ahead and do it.
But isn't that amazing? I mean, let's just stop and say, praise the Lord.
And he said, "Well, you can come out here and learn how to do it. And nobody even see you. You'll be out in the woods and you can make all the mistakes you want."
For $85 an hour.
85 bucks an hour, so.
So, and of course, you know, obviously as you learn how to do more, you can charge more, obviously.
Well, yeah, the more experience I get, I can bring up my rates.
Right, but being a rookie with the skid steer, you had to start somewhere, being a rookie skid
Right.
steer, so.
Right. So the first time I drove it is when I drove it off the back of this trailer.
That's right, the first
and Ricky
time.
was like, "Well, you got to pull the ramps out. You got to pull the ramps
Well,
out."
he didn't pull the ramps out.
Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. When I put the trailer up, skid steer up here, the trailer, it just bent right down to where I needed it.
Yeah, so he drove it for the first time off this ramp. So
Yeah.
anyhow, well, praise the Lord. It's already.
Richie, you can drive that skid steer right. This is called a dove nose, and they build it like that just so that you can drive on and off of it.
Okay. All right. Well, praise the Lord. It's already there on the job site. It's already there, and
That's right. And Ricky said she was going to break my arm if I didn't make this video. So y'all have a wonderful day. Have lots of fun. Oh, we don't have any electricity. Been 34 hours without electricity now. We're doing a 34-hour reset.
a 34-hour reset.
And if we don't get it on, we're going to have to go get some propane and start cooking all of our meat in the freezer.
Before the food in the freezer goes bad.
Yeah,
That's
so
right.
We might have a big cookout tonight. God bless, and don't forget to ring that bell. Later.